Hello and welcome to the news from Bahrain International. I am Mohammed Yusuf. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, visited the General Headquarters of the BDF. Upon arrival, His Majesty the King was welcomed by the BDF Commander-in-Chief, Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa, the National Security Advisor and Royal Guard Commander, Major General His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Royal Guard Special Force Commander, Colonel His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and the BDF Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Diab bin Sagr al-Naimi, as well as a number of senior BDF officers. His Majesty the King met senior BDF officers and affirmed constant pride in the BDF and its brave servicemen. His Majesty expressed thanks to all BDF affiliates for the tremendous efforts they are exerting to protect the gains and achievements of the kingdom and its people, stressing that they are a source of pride for all. Those present extended their deepest congratulations to His Majesty the King on Eid al-Fitr. His Majesty the King congratulated them on the blessed occasion and requested them to convey His Majesty's greetings and congratulations to all officers, non-commissioned officers and the brave personnel at various work sites in Bahrain and abroad. His Majesty affirmed that Bahrain always aspires that security and peace prevail across the region and the world, wishing all BDF affiliates continued success in defending the homeland and enhancing its progress and prosperity. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa issued Royal Decree 40 of 2023, appointing officials at the Parliament Affairs Ministry following the approval of the Cabinet. According to the decree, Dina Ahmed Ais Al Fayez was appointed as Coordinator General for the affairs of the Shura and Representatives Council at the Parliament Affairs Ministry, and Khalil Abdul Rasul Hassan Bachiri as Under Secretary at the same ministry. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa issued a circular on the upcoming Labour Day. According to the circular, ministries and all other public institutions will close on Monday, May 1st, 2023, marking Labour Day. The Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, met with the UK Minister of State in the Department for Business and Trade, Lord Dominic Johnson, in London, in the presence of Bahrain's Ambassador to the UK, Sheikh Fawaz bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, and CBB Governor Rashid Al Ma'raj. During the meeting, the Minister reviewed the historic relations between the two kingdoms, which extend back to more than 200 years. He affirmed the development witnessed by those relations towards more comprehensive levels in a way that benefits, develops and prosper the two countries and their friendly peoples. They also discussed investment cooperation, Bahrain and the UK, and reviewed the latest developments in the global economy. The President of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, during a ceremony honoring the teams participating in search and rescue operations in Turkey, awarded the search and rescue team of the BDF Royal Guard the State Medal for Supreme Sacrifice in honor of the team's efforts and its humanitarian relief mission, Operation Sawa'ad al-Ghayth, which came in compliance with the royal orders and directives of His Majesty the King, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, and with the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Prime Minister, and the BDF Commander-in-Chief, as well as the continuous and direct follow-up by the National Security Advisor and Royal Guard Commander, His Highness Major General Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, as a result of the earthquake that struck Turkey and Syria. The medal was received by the commander of the search and rescue team, Major Fadl Ali Naimi. The President of Turkey expressed appreciation to His Majesty the King for his sentiments, praying to Allah the Almighty to protect Bahrain and its people and maintain security, prosperity and progress. He also expressed sincere thanks for the solidarity of Bahrain's government and people with Turkey in overcoming the natural disaster. The President of Turkey also expressed appreciation for the efforts made by the officers and members of the team and its initiation of its humanitarian relief operations in the Hatay region to provide the necessary support, assist the affected, search for survivors and recover the victims according to the highest standards of security and safety with professionalism and high moral. The Undersecretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Walid Al-Mana, inaugurated the celebration of World Immunization Week under the slogan Broad Remedial Campaign, which was organized by the Public Health Directorate. Dr. Al-Mana noted that celebrating this occasion reflects the joint work in the field of disease prevention and the application of health strategies, as the celebration aims to shed light on the teamwork needed to protect more people, especially children, from infectious diseases that can be prevented by vaccines. He affirmed that Bahrain is committed to implementing health strategies, following up on progress of action plans and indicators of local programs, and strengthening the national capacity in this field through integration between all levels of healthcare. The Undersecretary stressed that Bahrain continues to keep abreast of scientific and technological progress and partnership with those concerned to conduct studies and research, and the need to introduce vaccines and monitor any complications that may follow. The permanent representative of the Kingdom of Bahrain to the United Nations, Ambassador Jamal Faras Al-Rawai'i, delivered a speech at the Security Council's open debate session on the situation in the Middle East. He said that the Kingdom of Bahrain affirmed that the long-running conflicts in the Middle East, with their economic and social repercussions, requires uniting efforts to settle disputes by peaceful means. He reaffirmed the centrality of the Palestinian cause and the importance of preserving the peace process and the regional and international efforts aimed at establishing an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. The ambassador noted the importance of continuing to provide protection for worshippers at Al-Aqsa Mosque and religious sanctities, and preserving the historical and legal status in Jerusalem and the decisions of their legitimacy. He pointed out that the Kingdom of Bahrain welcomed the joint tripartite statement of the agreement of Saudi Arabia and Iran, sponsored by China, to resume diplomatic relations between the two countries. He also expressed the Kingdom of Bahrain's deep regret over the armed confrontations taking place in Sudan and their serious repercussions on the security and safety of citizens and residents, and called on the parties to resolve the peaceful solutions to end the clashes. The Kingdom of Bahrain recorded a 4% growth in the real GDP in the fourth quarter of 2022 on an annual basis, driven by a growth of 4.09 in the non-oil sector. More in this report. In line with the national initiatives aimed at promoting economic growth, the Kingdom of Bahrain witnessed remarkable progress in various vital sectors, which led to a real GDP growth of 4% in the fourth quarter of 2022, driven by a growth of 4.9% in the non-oil sector. The most prominent sectors that witnessed a rise in growth rates at constant prices are the financial project sector and the commercial sector, along with the real estate and business services sector, which are witnessing remarkable growth of 18.5%. As for the existing trade between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the countries of the GCC, it constitutes a vital tributary in the national economy, in addition to tourism, which recorded an increase in the number of arrivals to the Kingdom of Bahrain compared to levels before the corona pandemic, as tourism flows increased in the fourth quarter of 2022 by 62% compared to the fourth quarter of 2021. Unremitting efforts by the Kingdom of Bahrain to develop strategic plans that reflect positively on the economy of the kingdom in all its economic fields amid what the world is going through, from the high inflation rate, which requires a promising policy to move forward towards global economic challenges. The King Hamad Global Center for Peaceful Coexistence continues its efforts to deepen the concepts of principles of coexistence and world peace, which are reflected in the visions of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. More in this report.
The Kingdom of Bahrain has always affirmed its global leadership in promoting religious tolerance, peaceful coexistence, constructive dialogue between different cultures and civilizations, and the respect of others. The King Hamad Global Center for Peaceful Coexistence has launched many humanitarian initiatives that call for peace and interfaith dialogue, which affirms the keenness and interest of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to enhance security and peace in the world. Over the past years, the Kingdom of Bahrain contributed to promoting dialogue and coexistence between religions through the launch of the Declaration of the Kingdom of Bahrain, the establishment of the King Hamad Global Center for Peaceful Coexistence, as well as the launch of His Majesty King Hamad's program for interfaith dialogue and peaceful coexistence at Sapienza University in Rome, as well as the establishment of the King Hamad International Award for Dialogue and Peaceful Coexistence, and many other global humanitarian initiatives, which are an indication of His Majesty the King's interest in highlighting the Kingdom's distinguished experience in peaceful coexistence to the international community as a pioneering model to follow. Today, the King Hamad Global Center for Peaceful Coexistence continues its efforts for the inauguration ceremony of the Declaration of the Kingdom of Bahrain in Egypt, a document that expresses the thought and philosophy of His Majesty the King and includes a number of principles that constitute the pillars of coexistence as a method for peace in the world. The declaration expresses the extent of respect, appreciation, and keenness of the Kingdom of Bahrain towards peace on human rights and highlights the high morals, thought, and belief of the authentic Bahraini society, which in turn is reflected in Bahrain's global position.
The Shura Council is preparing to discuss two draft laws that were originally proposals for a law submitted by a number of members of the Shura Council after the Council of Representatives approved two projects that aim to extend more parliamentary control over public funds to ensure proper management and preservation. The Kingdom of Bahrain participates with the countries of the world in celebrating the World Intellectual Property Day, which falls on the 26th of April, out of its belief in the importance of the field and the development and progress of societies. There are many areas of intellectual property, including copyright, patents, and trademarks, as they guarantee creators or owners of intellectual property the right to benefit from their work and the freedom of use.